What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Make Gains. I am Adam Gaines, and today we're going to be talking about crazy car payments. Let's get into it.
What is the highest monthly payment you have ever seen?
I had a customer come in and buy a new Navigator from me. It was $3,700 a month.
What is the highest monthly payment you've ever seen?
$2,100 a month. I think it was a Bronco Raptor.
What was the highest monthly payment you've ever seen for a vehicle?
I sold someone a BMW M850i and they signed out at $1,875 a month. What is the highest monthly payment that you've ever seen?
Probably was about 1,600 and something thousand on a F450 Platinum.
What is the highest monthly payment that you have ever seen?
$1,300 on an Expedition.
What's the highest monthly payment that you've ever seen?
$1,400 a month for 72 months.
What is the highest monthly payment you've ever seen?
$2,600.
Y'all, this is like 6 years they're talking about for having this payment. That is crazy. So if you're somebody who's in the market for a new car, think about that monthly payment before you sign the dotted line, because it's going to stick with you for quite a while. And more times than not, whenever you want to go sell that expensive vehicle, it's going to be worth a lot less. Well, it's always going to be worth a lot less, but many times within just a year or two, it's going to be worth a lot less because of the length of the loan and how much they're spreading it out. I mean, people get underwater in these loans so quickly. So be really careful. Try to just live below your means and don't do it.
A lot of you guys are asking why my car payment is $1,000 a month, and here's why. I got my first car when I was a senior. It was the car of that year. I had a backup camera, a push start, everything, right? 9 months later, I crashed it and I totaled it, and my parents had already almost paid it off. So then they pulled me out another car, the same one, but I had to pay it. So I started paying it. I was giving payments, and I was almost done. I had less than $10,000, right? I always kept up with the maintenance, everything. And I don't know why, but there was so many recalls on this car to the point where it almost left me on the freeway a couple times, okay? By this time, I already had my son. He was a baby at that time. And it got to the point where it wasn't even safe for us to be driving in that car. Not even on the freeway, not anywhere. So my mom was like, it was time to upgrade. So I was like, all right, bet. I got a 2021 Acura ILX, super nice, brand new, nice interior, everything, right? Never really gave me problems. And I got married. We have 3 kids now. Fast forward to now. And we just didn't fit in that little car anymore. We needed a SUV, like a mom car. So I traded in this car, my car, and I'm actually carrying $10,000 of negative equity from my very first car. But I had no choice. It was not safe to drive that car, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to swallow it and take the L. So that's why my car payment is so high, but it's totally worth it for me because I have my mom car and we have our room. And look at this car seat. Look at how big it is. It takes up a lot of space because it turns. And my kids are comfortable. We have the stroller in the back. So to me, yes, it's $1,000, but it's our safety and we have the room we need. I love my car.
I hope y'all are paying attention to some of the words that she was using. It was no longer safe to drive on the road because of recalls. Manufacturers will fix recalls for free. And we needed a mom car. She said our car wouldn't fit because we had 3 kids. And that might be true, but this car doesn't look huge that she has. She was trading in from an Acura. She had $10,000 in negative equity. For those of you who might not know it, that means whenever she went to trade in her car, they would only give her, like, let's say that she owed $20,000. They would only give her $10,000 for that car. So in order to get the new car, she had to roll that $10,000 into the new payment. Always a very bad idea because you're going to be underwater in the new car immediately. Normally what they'll do to make that easier for you is they'll add another year or 2 worth of payment. Instead of paying on that for 5 or 6 years, they'll bump it out to 7 or 8 years because you want your payment to be only $1,000 instead of $1,500. She's got some mental gymnastics going on to justify this.
What's the minimum monthly payment on this?
It's like 800 something. So the reason being is his
800 what?
What do you mean?
And this is one of them?
Yes. That's his car. The minimum payment's 800.
Listen, as a band kid, I can't see a band director suffering like this. A band director cannot afford an 800 something dollar minimum monthly payment. I'm sorry, you can't. Unless you're a director of bands at a university, you can't afford this. You can't afford this to save your life.
So I recognize that it was
You
stupid
recognize a lot of
decision.
things, yet somehow everything is absolutely ridiculous here.
But so the reason
And
that
being defended
payment is
somehow.
so high is because his previous car, he was
rolled
underwater. No, he was like not physically underwater, but like he was underwater on that loan.
And he rolled over
So-
negative equity.
Yes. So we rolled over.
That
we
doesn't
traded
make sense
in his
either.
car.
How much was this car when you got it? What was the purchase price of this?
Purchase price was like almost 30, so like high 20s.
So you didn't roll over that much. You still could have got a cheaper car. You could have got a $10,000 car.
Yeah, but we wanted a new car.
Wanted. Your life is going to be via want.
Yeah.
Would you like to retire? Would you like to have a family that does not worry about finances every second of your life?
I would like that. Yeah. that
Oh,
would be
good. Yeah, sacrifices are required for that, and giving up some wants are required for that.
Yes, giving up some wants are required for that. I like that. Your life's been screwed via wants. And that is the truth for most folks with these car payments. They know they can't afford it, but they want that new shiny car. I was listening to a video where a guy was talking about buying his dream car. And he said, it was a really high payment. I've wanted this car for years. And I bought it. Within 3 days, I was driving this car around and feeling like, this is just a car. It's not even that special. He was like, yeah, I loved it. But after just 3 days, I realized that I had probably made a mistake and that this car was not worth the payment. Guys, don't let yourself get caught up with keeping up with the Joneses. If you're trying to make gains, it is one of the worst things that you could allow to creep in your life, because as soon as you allow yourself to not be content with the car that you have, or the house that you have, or whatever it is, insert thing, then you start desiring for the new thing. And the next thing you know, you're pulling out your credit card or you're signing on the dotted line with a crazy interest rate.
I drive a Honda 2025, and the payments is $525. And when I think about making the payment, I get sick. Just get sick, like my stomach hurt. I really be getting depressed. I'm just really ready to call the bank and just tell them, pick the car up. I'll Uber where I gotta go. Seriously. What kind of cars do y'all have and how much is the payment?
That's a great question. What kind of cars do you have and what is the payment? Drop it down below. I'd love to hear what the audience has. What she said about letting the bank pick it up, don't do that. You'll be much worse off. If you really decide that you're tired of this payment, which I hope you do, then the best thing for you is to sell that car. Don't just quit making the payments on it, because then you're going to screw yourself up in a lot of different ways. Sell the car. Don't trade it in, okay? Because they're going to give you, like, whenever you go to trade in a car, they're going to give you way less than what it's worth. All right. So you're much better off to look it up. Go to kbb.com. That stands for kellybluebook.com. It'll give you the value of your car. It'll show you what a dealer would charge. It'll show you what a dealer would give you for trade-in. It'll also show you what private parties sell the car for, and it'll give you a range. What I always do is I list my car at the higher range, and then I know that whenever people come to look at it, I can go down $1,000 or $1,500 and still be in that range, and it's okay, and they'll feel like they got a great deal. So do that instead of trading it in, and then you can actually pay off your loan. All right, you might have to put a few $1,000s in with that if you're underwater, but that is a much better situation than just stop making payments and let the bank take the car. Don't do that.
Typically, whenever something happens to my car, I automatically just want to go get a new car. I'm like, check engine light on, go get a new car. Need new tires, go get a new car. So my check engine light came on probably about like a couple weeks ago, and then I was having trouble starting my car after I got gas, like put gas in my car. So last night I was like, okay, I just need to go get a new car. So then I started pricing out, like, cause I already know what car that I want. I want to go electric. No, it's not a Tesla. And I priced it all out, seeing how much car payments were. child, I'm about to go get my car fixed and go get some new tires because we're keeping my Ford Fusion. Because what? Y'all are out here paying $800,000 car payments? That is insane.
Yeah, keep that Ford Fusion because, yeah, the average car payment is around $800 now, which is psycho. And then there are a lot of people that pay way more if you decide you want something special. What she said was very common. Folks will use their check engine light or the fact that they need new tires as an excuse to get that new car. Don't fall into that trap. Okay, fix your car, especially if it's paid off, because you can fix a lot of problems if you just save $800 a month. A whole lot of problems.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that people still make this argument today that it is cheaper to buy a new car. Which, by the way, the average new car payment is approaching, I think it's well over $700 a month now. $700 a month. That is insane. You know, so on average, it does not cost me, say, $7,000 a year to make repairs on a reliable used vehicle to keep that car on the road. But it's amazing to me how many people who live paycheck to paycheck that I've coached over the years, and I used to make the same mistake too, that fall for this, I need a reliable vehicle, I need something with security, I need a warranty. You know how much money you're spending on those types of things? But yet, if you bought yourself a fairly good used vehicle, paid cash for that vehicle, and then maintained it, do you know how much money you can save? So many people who live paycheck to paycheck could do so much better with their finances by ditching these high car payments. But too many people get stuck in this excuse of, well, I need a reliable vehicle and I don't have money to really make repairs. Well, you would if you got rid of those car payments.
100%. Hey, so I've told you guys before, if you watch this channel, I had a really nice truck. The truck was paid off. We paid cash for the truck, but it had a lift on it. It had some big knobby tires on it. And I wasn't driving it a lot. I was working from home. And eventually I was like, this car's just depreciating. I'm going to need new tires soon. I sold it and I bought a used Camry. And, my Camry's 12 years old. It's a beater. It's got 140,000 miles on it. But guess what? It's completely paid off. And this argument of like, you need a warranty, guess what? If you just take that payment and save it, you'll have a lot of money in case you ever need a repair. But guess how many repairs over the past 2.5 years I've needed on my Camry? 0. Okay, I've not needed a single repair. I've changed the oil in it. I needed brakes when I first bought it. But that's just usual stuff. You'll do that on the car you got a payment on. So don't let that be an excuse. Don't use those mental gymnastics to talk yourself into getting a car payment that's $800 a month, because it's not worth it.
What trends have you noticed amongst people that are struggling financially? Like what are they doing with their money? Why is it not going in their favor?
Everyone's good with getting a 5, 6, 7-year car loan at 25% and thinks that doesn't mean anything. So that's crazy. I mean, what? The average car payment, what was it? I think it's recently come out to like $800 a month.
Yeah.
It's insane. If 50% of the people in the United States, 50% who have a job, make $30,000 or less on a yearly basis, $800 a month as the new average car payment, that's insanity.
That it really is 100% insanity, especially if you're only making $30,000 a year. You are suffocating yourself with that car payment. It is a horrible idea. The other thing to consider, all right, if you're really about making gains and you want to be able to retire someday, the best bet, like I said, get you an older used car, because I guarantee you my car will get me somewhere the same way as a brand new BMW will. It might feel special to you for a little bit, but nobody's looking at that going, oh, the guy driving that is so awesome. Morgan Housel talks about that. If you're interested in hearing what he says about it, go listen to it. The short story is nobody's looking at that car going, the person driving that car is awesome. They're looking at it going, man, I could see myself driving that car. So they're replacing you with themselves and thinking about it like, oh, that's a really cool car. But it's not really increasing your status like you might think it will. If you take that $800 a month car payment and plan on saving that $800 from now till the time you retire, $800 at 10%, which is market average, equals $1.6 million in 30 years. Pay that $800 a month to yourself, and in 30 years, you're going to have $1.6 million. And guess what you can buy with cash with $1.6 million? Whatever kind of car you want. If you're saving that kind of money, you can wait and buy a really nice used car every 5-10 years. Get the model that you want. Just get it a little bit older, have that patience, and then just keep saving money. And you're going to be so much better off than the folks who are doing, like they just said, where they're getting a loan where it's $800 a month for 7 years, because that's just crazy.
Do y'all want to know what is worse than my Tahoe payment? You guys thought that was bad. Wait till you hear this one. It's my husband's truck. My husband drives a 2020 GMC AT4 Sierra 1500. We bought it in August of 2022. Financed it for $78,000. He still has a remaining balance of, I think it's $72,000 or $74,000. I haven't really checked recently. His payments are $1,600 a month. So y'all thought my $1,400 Tahoe payment was bad. His truck payment is $1,600 a month with an APR of 14%. So yeah, y'all stop coming after me for my bad finance decisions and go after him, because he's up to. Too bad he didn't buy his truck for him. I did. So yeah, I messed them both up. Oops. So maybe we should just let his truck get repossessed and keep the Tahoe, because a $1,400 Tahoe payment is a whole lot better than a $1,600 truck payment. Or maybe we should just let them both go back, because we have the Audi now and don't need either of the car payments.
There's so much there. So a $1,400 Tahoe payment, a $1,600 GMC truck payment, that's $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year in payments before gas, regular maintenance, and insurance. They're probably spending $40,000 a year on 2 cars. And then she said they just got a new Audi. Yeah, I don't, it's just disturbing. And that interest rate, what did she say, 14%? That is psycho. That's the reason they've had the car a few years, and they've only paid off $2,000 in principal, because the first few years are front loaded with interest. So it's going to take forever to pay that down. I mean, guys, do not do this, okay? There's so many awesome trucks that you can get that are 8 years old where you're going to pay $20,000 for it. And I promise you, driving it is not that much different at all. It might feel a little different, might look a little cooler, might have a fresher smell, but if you're using that truck the way it's supposed to be used, that's going to change really quickly. So just get you a used one and get the features that you want and pay cash for it. $78,000 for 7 years is, I'm not in their shoes, but it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. And then they bought a new Audi. Like, oh my goodness.
Okay, so this right here is a payment for my white Maxima. So after that payment, there's 2 more payments that car will be paid off. Okay, this payment right here was $318 a month. I put no money down on that car. $318 a month for 5 years. The payment on this new Maxima right here, 7 years, and it's $603. Make that make sense. And I'm not gonna cry until I make that payment. I got 7 years of doing it. So I would just like to give a shout out to the dude that ran the stop sign, because now I'm paying an extra $100 for my car payment every month, and then I'm paying like $55 extra on my car insurance because it went up too. And the thing is I work 2 jobs. I also have a guy on the side do some book work, so that's like 3 jobs really. So when I work my off, I want what I want. I could have got a cheaper car, but considering that's what I wanted, that's what I had. I lost what I had. I want the same thing. This is why I was sick to go car shopping, because I knew it was going to be something like this. So anyway, who's hiring? I need 4 jobs.
This is the mental gymnastics I'm talking about. So she got in an accident. Somebody ran a stop sign, hit her 2019 Maxima. She wants the same thing. So let's get a 2024 Maxima, brand new. Like, guys, that is not the same thing. She could have taken that check they gave her with the insurance and gone and bought a 2019 with the similar features, maybe even a little nicer, and put a couple grand with it. But instead, she's going to double her payment. Her first car is not paid off. She said she's got 2 months left on that at $300 a month. And now she's going to $600 a month for probably 5 to 7 years. And having to work 2 jobs and a side hustle and then saying she might need another. Don't put yourself in this situation. She said, I want what I want. And that's fine and well. But you've really got to think about, is it worth doubling my payment? Is it worth doing this another 5 years? Is it worth having an extra job? Y'all, don't let yourself think like this. Take that check, buy you a paid off car, and then take that $600 and pay it to yourself. You can take that money in 10 years and go buy a car cash. And it'd be a really nice car because instead of paying interest at 14, 20% to a bank, you're earning interest. So that money's going to grow. It's a much better situation. You can buy a much nicer car if you do it that way.
I don't know why no one has said this before. If you're in the market looking to purchase a new car, listen up. A lot of people just aren't aware, and I get it. Like, it's fine. I wasn't either when I first bought my car. I'm a salesperson at a Lexus dealership. I want to put out into the world a good cheat sheet. I tell this to all my customers. If you're looking at a $50,000 vehicle at MSRP, it's gonna be over $1,000 on your monthly payment. A good way to gauge that is for every $10,000 on the MSRP is about a $200 increase on your monthly payment. Ergo, you're looking at a $40,000 vehicle, you're looking at an $800 payment. It's hand in hand. So if you're trying to keep your budget like around $400 or $500, you're probably looking at like a $20,000 to $25,000 vehicle. Unless you're planning on putting a lot of money down. If you're planning on putting a lot of money down, that completely changes things. So, I hope this helps. Thank y'all for listening.
It's good to think about whenever you walk around a lot, how much your payment is going to be based on that. I think it is a good rule of thumb. So $10,000 equals $200 a month. Save cash. That way, whenever you walk on the dealership, you know what your budget is and you can say, hey, here's the most I'm willing to spend. So if you want me to buy that car, you need to come down to what I've got because I'm not getting a loan. That's the best way to approach it. But if that's not what you're doing, at least understand what you're getting into and how long.
The thought of a car payment literally makes me sick. Our cars have been paid off for a while now. And like, yeah, we could use a new car. Like, the kids are getting older. It's getting a little tight in here. It works, you know, we've had it for 8 years. It's paid off. But the thought of a car payment literally makes me cringe. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make this car work for as long as I possibly can to avoid a car payment. I don't know. I've heard other people say that too, like car payments, there's just something about a car payment, man. Like a mortgage payment, we're probably not gonna get the house paid off for a while. Like that's something that's probably not going to happen for a while. The car was something that we worked so hard to get paid off in such a timely manner that I'm like, no, I'm gonna ride this one out. Like we're gonna make this work for as long as possible.
That's what you need to do. Have that mindset. We're gonna make this work as long as possible. We're gonna save our money, and if something breaks, we're gonna pay cash and fix it. That is the way to make gains.
This weekend, I had my vehicle appraised. I owe a little over $57,000 and I pay $1,100 a month. And when I purchased this vehicle, I paid over I don't know, 72, 73,000, maybe even 78.
Is this because of TikTok and Instagram? Who are people trying to keep up with? $1,100 a month car payment, $78,000 off the lot immediately depreciated. And people in the comments were like, that car depreciated as soon as you drove it off the lot. And she was like, I didn't know it was going to depreciate that much. Ma'am, you're 48 years old. You're asking for financial advice on TikTok. You didn't know that. No hate to people who live in trailers, but she has a $78,000 car and she lives in a double wide rented trailer. So she's making these TikToks because she needs to qualify for a home. Maybe before the $78,000 car would have been a good idea for you to think about that. Is it because of the whole mom car trend? Is it because of like the hashtags? Most of these people can't even park these cars. But all things aside, as a non-English speaker, isn't the H in vehicle supposed to be silent? Why do people say vehicle? Vehicle. Vehicle. It sounds wrong when I say it.
So guys, I do think that a lot of people watch social media and that influences them to buy a vehicle. If you watch social media and see all these people driving big fancy cars, it can get in your head and you start to think, hey, I need one. Hashtag mom car. All right. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into that. When my wife and I got married and we started having kids, she had a Maxima that was paid off. Or maybe it was an Altima. But anyway, she had a Nissan that was paid off and we needed room for 3 kids. Okay, the first 2 kids fit in that car. Then they didn't. So yeah, we could have said, yep, we need a Yukon Denali. That's what we need. We need a brand new Tahoe. That way of thinking is what will keep you poor. All right. So instead what we did was we bought a used Toyota Sienna minivan. And guess what? That minivan was great. When kids hit it with a tricycle or ran a bike tire into it, we didn't get all bent out of shape because they didn't just jack up a $60,000 car, $70,000 car. They jacked up a $10,000 car. We used that car for 5 years. It served its purpose very well. And then we sold it for a few $1,000s less than we paid for it. So we really got our money's worth out of it. And now another family is getting their money's worth out of it. It was a great car. And we didn't have to do anything to it besides regular maintenance. So think about that as you're moving through life. What's functional? What allows you to save money? What is not going to put you in a predicament that puts your family's financial situation in jeopardy? And continue making gains. Save that $800 for yourself and have that $1.6 million when you retire. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it changed the way you're thinking about cars a little bit. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who needs to hear this, send it their way, share it with them. And also hit that like button. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate you watching. So anyway, we'll see you next time.